right.
We came to the US on the student visa. We did that for about 7 years, right?
About 7 or 8 years.
4 years in college.
And another 3 years for me for my master's. After the student visa, we got
Our work permit.
a work permit.
So that was like a 1 year and it can be extended for another year.
Another year. So that's how we stretched it that long.
After that, they decided, okay, we're going to file your working visa.
Yes. At that point, the work visa became a lottery system. I don't know if
God.
that's still true.
It is still true.
Okay, so yes, it's a lottery system and you may or may not get selected.
But anyways.
Thankfully, God blessed us and both of us got our work visas.
Then it was time to file our green card.
Yes.
But our company said no.
And then eventually my company said yes to filing for me. And midway through the process, they were like, actually, we have stopped filing the process. And I was like,
This was like 2 years later. Her work
Yes.
permit was almost over. So my company also started filing for me after like 4 years of working with them.
both of us got our green card or permanent residency through his company. So our green card interview was scheduled for right around when my daughter was due, but thankfully she arrived before the interview. I was discharged from the hospital and we were able to make that appointment.
Yeah, so finally we got our green card, and then for 5 years we were on green card. I mean, at that point it was
Wow,
smooth
man.
sailing.
It
Right?
was, yeah, because then you're more relaxed. You're like, woof, okay, I
Wow.
can breathe now. And then
Wow, that's some interesting analysis, but it's very good to see something like that. I love what this couple did. Wale, honestly, I follow them on Instagram. Amazing couple. They put up good content, but what they shared is real, is what a lot of people need, and we just wanted to react to it. So Wale,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the video so far?
It's I first of all, like, I never imagined that people who come to the United States on student visas, they still have to wait that long to be able to get their residence visa. So, which is really, I don't know. It's impressive, but it's also something I never imagined that what people go through. I once met someone who, I think it was during the pandemic, that they weren't going to, they didn't give her like a H-1B visa that she applied for. For me, in my mind, I'm like, you have the experience, you have all the skills that are necessary to do the work, and you don't get the visa. So I never really understood how they issue the visa until this guy just said like it's a gambling process now. So I'm like, oh
Yeah, it's a lottery
process
system.
rather,
Yeah, lottery system.
which is strange still, because I would expect them to prioritize highly skilled workers to get at least those who have been in the country for a while. Those
Exactly.
to get it first, then the other ones that I want to get for the first time are those who are coming from outside, and those can be lottery. But like, it's really, and also it's also interesting. For me, it's also the first time I'm learning that you can be in a country like the United States for so long and still not be able to be qualified to apply for like a citizenship.
Yeah.
I mean, to me anyway, maybe I'm not thinking about it, but in my mind, it makes sense that if you have lived in the United States for this long, you should be qualified, especially if you're working here. You should be qualified for the same kind of visa someone who has a green card should get. That's the way I would see it anyway, personally. But I am impressed that I also surprised to learn that a lot of people are going through that, and then well, kudos to them. That's
Yeah,
like
it's an amazing pathway. I remember I met a lady from China, and she was at that point of filing for a green card through the company she works for, but the company was not willing to file a green card, so she was stuck in the work visa between the work permit and the HB1 visa. There are two different categories. After college, you get like a year, like a 2 year. I'm not certain what the amount, the time, but I think you get like a year or 2 years. So you get a work permit, which was what they mentioned. They shared that in the video. They get that and they are able to work. And after that, you apply for the H1 or H1B visa, which is now the work permit. Now that work permit, if you know, it's a lottery system. So I met this lady from China. That was the challenge. Like she was like, she is just under a lot of stress, you know, because
Yeah.
she's like, you know, if the company she works for, she really wants to leave, but she feels stuck. Like if you listen to what the guy said, he said he worked there 4 years,
Yeah.
you know, then
Yeah.
they filed for the green card, right? So she's stuck because she's at this point trying to get a work permit,
Yeah.
H1B visa. That's what she's waiting for, not even the green card, right?
Oh, wow.
And so she feels a bit stuck, you know, that you
Yeah.
know, she can't move forward, you know. So there are people in different category, and sometimes people skip those steps. Like, you know, they came here for college, right? There are people
Yeah.
who are hired and brought here as experienced or a skilled worker. They come in as H1B visa. So those categories, some of them come in, the organization go ahead and get them a green card, and you know their process just runs smoothly from there. I have a friend who was in New York, brought in from Nigeria, H1B visa, you know, but he, after like 3 years, he left because, you know, he felt like the company wasn't willing to file for a green card, and he didn't like the situation of working, you know, feeling stuck, because if the company disengages, then he has to go back to Nigeria. And if the company does not disengage, you know, he has to stay with them, even if he doesn't like some of the things he's experiencing or you know, witnessing in the organization. So I mean, it's a very challenging place to be. I'm just listening to them. You can imagine what some people are going through, dealing with that weight, that uncertainty of feeling like if I lose my job, I will have to return. And I met a guy once also who said to me that he had to leave the US, go back to India, you know, to wait on his visa to come out for him to return back to the US, right? So honestly, I don't know, man. That lottery system, I don't know. I have been in a process where I had to wait for my visa. I didn't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling. I don't know anyone that's that kind of situation, man. I feel for them, man. See, it's not a good way to feel, man. You feel like you're in limbo, you know, like anything can go wrong. You lose your job and you're going back. You know, that's not the plan. Especially if your plan is to remain in the US, or you know, that can really be. I mean, it's a long time. Although from the point of green card, so if you take 5 years from 18 years, so at 13 years after, right? 13 years, that was when they can say they've attained some level of peace, because when they got their green card, right? That's it. Because the green card is usually 10 years. So, and after within that 10 years, you can get, you know, US citizen
after 5 years, or
after 5 years actually. Yes. So I mean,
which is I don't know. For me, I would say if this is one of the immigration policies that should change to encourage professionals to remain in the US, that should be one of them. But like, I guess from the country's perspective, or even from the companies that are bringing people in perspective, like they do want a situation where they are not just bringing people in and people are just going to just leave them just like that, right? So I think it makes sense in that sense that like a lot of people might be looking at companies as a way to get into the US and want to leave if they can actually get their green card as soon as possible, so that way. So that's one way to look at it. But I am also sure that like if your company is doing everything well and correctly, I think that's nothing to be concerned about. But again, like I'm not too sure about all the system yet. But I think one thing that I want to take away from this video for me personally is something about persistence and determination that the couple had, that they were able to just keep pursuing their dream of being an American permanent resident for a long time, for 18 years before, for American citizens, rather, before they now became a citizen. For 18 years, continuing to do that, taking little steps towards their dream, applying here. If this one, for example, if this one doesn't work, they'll try another one. That one doesn't work. I saw that, like, for the guy, like, initially the guy's company, they don't want to apply for the green card, but the wife's company applied, and after like 2 years they said they stopped the application, so they had to go back to the guy's company again and now applied for the green card on his behalf.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a tough one. I can imagine how much appreciation they are gonna have for their citizenship after 18 years.
Yeah, it's priceless, man.
Yeah.
And I think for me, one of my take home is, two is better than one.
Yeah.
Because it kind of increased their chances. If the wife was single and alone, and since the company could not stop the filing, she would have been stuck.
Yeah.
But just having that option, is priceless. And now, that worked out for both of them. And I think, that's where two is better than one.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks.
In some cases, some people say two good head. Yeah. All right then. Thank you, Wally Means, for your thoughts on this. And hey, please like, subscribe, support our channel, and going to look out for the next video.
Yes, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.